Hey Socialites, welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Ariell. I do mainly beauty videos, fragrance, and lifestyle. So if those are the type of videos you enjoy watching, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and come join the family. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get like that clean girl makeup look, a minimalist makeup look, that fresh face look, using some new Merit products. So I do want to thank Merit for partnering with me on today's video and sending over a few products. The star of the show, you guys, is actually going to be a product that I've been looking at, and I don't know if you've seen it yet, but Merit has one of their new, these are called the Day Glow Hydrating Balms. They have a new shade that's actually their deepest shade now, and it's called Solstice. So this is what it looks like. It gives you a beautiful, effortless, lightweight glow to the skin without being oily. Now with all Merit orders, it is free shipping over $40. And with your very first order, you do get their signature brown corduroy bag, which is really cute. So we're gonna try this out today. If you wanna see how I got this look using some new Merit products, then keep on watching. So the most important part of this look is definitely the skincare. Without the prep and the skincare parts, it won't be the look. Like, that is the look, is the skin prep. So I just washed my face using the Tatcha Rice Wash. So I'm going in with the Polish Choice Exfoliate. This is an exfoliant that unclogs, shrinks pores, smooths an even skin tone, and it absorbs very quickly, which is important when you're about to put makeup on. I'm just gonna take one of my Sephora cotton pads, and we just want to create the glowy look with our skin before we try to create it with the makeup, because we want as much of our skin to show through as possible. Now, if you're somebody who has a lot more pigmentation, because you guys see I do have hyperpigmentation, like dark marks from acne scarring. If you have a lot more than this and you feel like you need more coverage, then you could use a skin tint. So I'm gonna give this about 2 minutes to go ahead and absorb into the skin. Let me go ahead and put on my Fenty. This is the Plush Pudding, which is basically a lip balm. So I definitely prefer to use my Clinique 100-hour moisturizer when I'm about to do makeup or any type of look, even if I'm concealing, because it absorbs so quickly and it doesn't leave any sort of film or stickiness or like tackiness that some moisturizers leave, and it doesn't look dewy. It really absorbs and it hydrates at the same time, but you don't see any type of sheen or anything left on the skin. But I don't know where that is, so I'm gonna go in with my Laneige. This is their Water Bank Blue Hyaluronic Moisturizer, which is a really good moisturizer as well. This is their newer one. It's a little bit more water-based, sort of similar to the Clinique one, and it absorbs very well. Just make sure you use something that's lightweight and do not skip the moisturizer step. Now with the moisturizer, you definitely want to wait about 2 to 3 minutes for it to completely soak into the skin before you move on to the next step, which is going to be my Merit Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. Now this is a unique serum in that you can use it on top of moisturizer or underneath, but when I do these sort of looks, I do prefer to use it on top of makeup because of the way it dries down. It dries down to, it's called Instant Glow Serum because it gives you an instant glow. So when it dries down, it leaves a beautiful glow on the skin, but it's not tacky. It's almost like completely dry, but still has that beautiful glow. So even if you had oily skin, you could get away with wearing this. Now, if you see here, there's a separation between the oil part that's in here, because there's a lightweight oil in here and an actual serum part. So you want to shake it up very well before you use it, and about 2 to 3 pumps, and press it into the skin. And this stuff is really watery, so be careful and literally just press it into the skin. And with this step, you also want to wait about another 2 to 3 minutes before you go into the next step. because we want it to completely dry down 100%. So to cover the pigmentation, I'm going to use my Merit Complexion stick. So I have two shades. I have one in the shade Amber, which is my skin tone, and I have one that's like slightly darker, and that one's in the shade Tiger Eye. And I use this one to sort of create dimension in the skin. I'm not going to say to contour because it's not like a super defined contour. It's like barely, you know, super natural. So I literally take this to cover the pigmentation. And the reason why I prefer to use this over like a concealer or anything else is because of the finish of this is super similar to actual skin. But with this product, it's a little on the matte, sort of drier side. It's creamy, but it can be dry if you put it on like bare skin. That's why the skin prep is very important, and it glides on great with this great skin. So that's another reason why I like to use this, because of the way it helps this to glide on. But when this dries down, it looks like actual skin, unlike any concealer I have or even any foundation. The closest I have to this that looks super similar is the Fenty Skin Tint in the stick form, the Eavesdrop Skin Tint stick. That resembles this closer than anything else that I have. And as you can see, I'm using my finger to sort of tap out the edges of it, because sometimes if you use a brush, it can wipe away the coverage. And we want to make sure that we maintain the coverage in the places that we need it and not spread it out too much. Sometimes when I use concealers just to spot correct, when you get in natural sunlight, you can see the actual, even if it's the same skin tone, even if you match the tone well, because of the finish of the product, when you get in the sun, you can sort of see where you covered those individual spots. And this does a good job of matching your skin so well that even in the sunlight, you can't tell that you spot corrected. Now, if you're somebody that you find this won't give you the amount of coverage that you need, if you're somebody that has to color correct using like, you know, like an orange color corrector or something like that, then it's going to give you a little bit of a different look. You can still achieve like an undetectable look, but it's gonna appear to be a little bit more coverage than what you're gonna see from me today. So I'm taking a clean puff with nothing on it. You can use like a beauty blending sponge that's sort of on the drier side, just to tap away any excess, but you wanna use a super light hand, because you want everything to look melted in the skin, very seamless. Don't press it in hard at all, just lightly tap. You're wanting all of the products to become one with your skin, but without taking away any of the coverage. So now we want to add that dimension back into our skin. That way we look like we have depth to our skin without looking like you contoured or you did a makeup look. So that's where the darker shade of the Merit Complexion stick comes in at. It's just slightly darker. Now with this, I don't want to apply it directly on my skin because I run the risk of wiping away anything that I tried to cover up, if you get what I mean, or moving something around. So I prefer to apply the product to the brush, go in, tap just to make sure it's even on the brush, and then apply it just the same way that you would like bronzer or contour. And if you happen to be going over any of the areas that you had to conceal, use a super light hand, because right here I had to conceal and you see how it still sort of took a little bit away. So I'm gonna have to go back and touch it up, but just use a really light hand. And I know this may seem like a lot, y'all, but it's seeming that way because I'm trying to explain it to you at the same time. Once you learn how to do this, it goes really quick. Like this is one of those, I would say 5 to 10 minute makeup looks once you learn the technique and once you have the right products that works for you. So we can go directly on the nose because I didn't conceal anything. We're just gonna tap. So now for the star of the show, the Merit Day Glow Hydrating Balm in the shade Solstice. So this is different packaging from them. Typically they have like that sort of gray packaging that you guys just saw on the Complexion stick. This is the darkest shade that they make in this product, and I hadn't tried it in any of the shades yet. So let's see what it looks like. So look at that. Then you blend it out. It is beautiful, and it's supposed to give you just that very glow from within look. So again, I'm not going to apply it directly to the face. Let's take it on the finger, and then we're going to apply it to the high points. Look at how natural that looks. It looks like the sunlight has hit you naturally. A little bit here, take a little bit here. Super creamy and balmy. And this is a product that I probably would not apply with a brush. I think fingers would probably be best for something like this. I'm gonna take my NARS Afterglow blush, just to add a little color to the cheeks. And this is a sheer product, that's why I want to use this one. And Dolce Vita is a super natural shade on me, so I'm just gonna do a little bit just to add a little color, not too much. And I'm gonna tap it right in between like our sort of bronziness and the glow, right in between the two. And we don't need a lot. You don't need a lot at all. Okay, so we're gonna go back in with just a little bit more of our glow. And then we're gonna very lightly set to keep everything in place. We don't want anything moving around, especially in the summer heat. So I'm gonna take my Say powder. This one's in the shade Translucent Medium. This is a very lightweight powder that doesn't look dry or powdery. It just sets in place without adding really much coverage or anything like that. So it's super natural. And you wanna strategically set the makeup. Now, if you have dark circles under eye or you didn't get enough sleep last night, you can take concealer and just lightly conceal under eye, but I don't need it today. I got enough sleep last night. I don't necessarily need it today. So we're just gonna go like this, but you could use the Fenty concealer, like the new We're Even concealer under eye if you want like a more natural or awake look, because it's not too much coverage. If you need a little bit more of a boost of coverage, I would say go with the Haus Labs. It's a medium buildable. And if you need full coverage but still wanted it, you know, somewhat supernatural, somewhat natural, either do 2 layers of the Haus Labs or you could go in with your Dior Forever Skin Correct. So I'm tapping off the excess and I'm just lightly setting under eye and slightly in the area where I put my creams. I'm not pressing it in too hard, just lightly set so everything's in place. You see how you still see the glow? Because I'm not going too much. I don't want to mattify the look. I just want to set it in place. So I'm going to take my brow glue just to brush my brows up. I don't want super defined brows. Sort of brush them up to give it just that modern look. Taking my Merit, this is the Solo Shadow in the shade Brun, which is a dark brown color. Now this is a super long lasting shadow, you guys. They're really good. And I love to use my Merit brush, the little dual ended shadow brush for this. And when you use this, you sort of press it in, because wiping it back and forth, it just dries too fast for that. So that's another reason that it's so long lasting. It dries so fast. So I find that sort of wiping it one direction or stamping it in place in a sense works best with these shadows. But they have great color to them. They come in some nice natural shades as well. This shadow was actually on a couple of my favorites videos. So for symmetry with my brows, because they start a little further over this way than I would like, I'm gonna just lightly fill them in at the head just to make them a little bit more symmetrical here. So to perfect this look, if you wanted to, and this is super optional, you can go back in with the complexion stick that's your shade. In any spots that you feel like may be showing through, you can just sort of touch those up. But it is very much optional. This step is optional, because it's not a perfect look. It's just like an everyday natural look. So it's okay if some pigmentation shows through, but if you're anal about that or you just want to cover it up, you can go back after you're done with everything. And again, just lightly set, and remember, only a tiny bit of powder needs to be on your puff or your brush, just a little bit, because you don't want to mattify. You just want to set in place, so just a tiny bit. I'm gonna add a little mascara. If you wanted to, you could do some natural lashes, maybe like a half lash, Or if you're somebody that likes length, maybe you could do like some thin lashes that have a little length to them, but nothing too heavy, nothing too thick, just a little bit at the bottom. And taking my Merit stick again, just a tiny bit on my finger, and adding it right in the corner. So for the lips, we're gonna try out one of the new Merit lipsticks. This is their signature lip lightweight lipstick in the shade Slip. Love this packaging. Merit has the most luxurious packaging, and it's sort of this natural shade. So let's try it out, see how it looks. I feel like this shade would be a little bit more appealing on someone that has much lighter skin tone than me. This is sort of washing me out a little bit. I probably should have chose the shade that had a little bit more hint of pink in it. I started to choose that actually. So we're gonna line the lip. I'm gonna use the number 14 Skin by Kim. I'm gonna put a little bit of a gloss on top just to add a little bit more pink to the lip. And so this is the look. I love how it gives that fresh face look, and you get that glow and that sheen to the skin without it being oily, and it will be long lasting. So comment down below, let me know if you've tried any Merit products before, and do you ever wear like the fresh face look or like the minimalist makeup look? What are some of the products you use to achieve that look? So thank you, Merit, for partnering with me on today's video and sending us over these goodies to try out. I'll have everything linked in the description box for you guys. If you're new here, welcome. I would love for you to come join the family by hitting the subscribe button. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. 'Cause I've been where you are. You're too scared to show me love, 'cause too fresh with the scars. But I don't have the answers.